For the first 6 months of driving the GTR after the rebuild was finished, this is how the car looked. If I'm being honest, it really wasn't by choice. I went way over my budget getting the car back on the road and doing all of the upgrades. So the paint work was the lowest priority when it came to being able to drive and enjoy the car. Luckily for me, when it came time to do the paint and the bodywork, I had some great friends that came to my rescue and offered to help get the front end back to one color. The first step was tackling this hood from the donor car. In the previous videos about the rebuild, I mentioned that the hood was from a car that had been sitting in a field for many years. As they started to sand, it was clear that this hood had a long story of its own. It looked a lot like rings on a tree. There were so many layers of paint and body fill. Next, the front bumper was fully sanded down and prepped, and luckily it was much better shape than the hood. And after that, they worked on the fenders, and I thought that was going to be it. The last time I saw my car, this is all that was getting worked on. But little did I know that my friends actually had a crazy surprise for me. Over the next week and a half, I was asked to stay away until all of the work was done, and that was a little weird, but I knew all this work was happening after hours, so I didn't want to step on anybody's toes, and I just stayed out of the way. Little did I realize that they were going way above and beyond for me. In secret, they were actually repairing and repainting almost 70% of the car. And because they knew I was a little bit frustrated that I couldn't be around while all of this work was being completed, they actually recorded a lot of video for me too. This was such a crazy gesture. At this point, I really have to give a huge shout out to Kate Harlow, Jake Scrivens, Jacob Giles, and Tyler Burns for all the insane paint and body work that they did on this car. Also, a huge thank you to Bassa for supplying all of the paint that Kate used to finish each one of these panels. Lastly, a huge thank you to Paul Chang, who was an instrumental part of this rebuild from the get-go, but let us use his paint booth to get the car finished. Looking back on all of this footage, it's crazy just to see how much work they actually put in on getting my car back to looking its best. After the GTR left the paint booth, it looks like they went over the entire vehicle and wet sanded and denibbed every panel that they had painted. This was such a crazy step just to make sure everything was absolutely perfect. Finally, the entire front end was reassembled and they were putting on the final piece, which was this front grille that I had ordered from Japan. And this is a video that Kate took of me seeing the car for the very first time. Immediately, my eyes were drawn to the front end. I'd never seen the car all one color. But very quickly, I noticed that there was a lot more that had been done. And I won't lie, this made me really emotional. I was so overwhelmed at the idea that my friends had gone so far above and beyond for me. I'd been working on this project for almost a year and a half, and I've already had so much help. To be able to see the car looking this good just didn't feel real. Once we pulled the car outside in the sunlight, all of the hard work really started to show. All of the new paint looked incredible. And all of the old panels that weren't painted were matched so well you couldn't tell the old from the new. Lastly, if you've watched any of the other videos in this series, what you'll realize is that I'm not the person that's done a lot of this work. I'm so grateful to my friends and the businesses that they have to be able to help a person like me achieve a dream like rebuilding this GTR. And I really appreciate everybody that's watched and followed along as I've told this story so far. There's still a few more videos that I really want to make, and I just want to say thank you to anybody that's made it 3 minutes into an Instagram reel. I really appreciate it.